Hi, folks. Welcome back to Murthy Finance Academy. Today, we are diving deep into a company that is going through a massive structural shift. We are talking about Krishna Defense and Allied Industries. As of our February 2026 update, this isn't just your niche SME anymore. Krishna Defense has migrated into the NSE mainboard, and spoiler alert, it is catching serious institutional attention. They are evolving from basic component manufacturing to high complexity defense systems like autonomous underwater vehicles with the government's 2026 to 2036 Make in India roadmap in full swing. Krishna Defense just posted their highest ever financial milestones in Q3 fiscal year 2026. Let's unpack the numbers, business model, and yes, the red flags you need to watch out for. First, let's talk about why Krishna Defense is so hard to compete with. They operate on a vertically integrated foundry to frontline model by keeping smelting, rolling, and specialized heat treatment in house. They crush supply chain risks and protect their intellectual property. They operate in two main segments. Defense, they produce 12 plus indigenously developed items. We are talking low magnetic signature ballast bricks and hull stiffness rated for 50 meters to over 300-meter depths for warships and submarines. Second segment is dairy. They make patented robotic milk collection units that operate without humans to prevent adulteration. These are built using food grade AISI 304 18 by 18 stainless steel for maximum hygiene. But a company is only as good as its team. Krishna Defense engineering staff has an average age of just 29. This young talent pool is why they are able to pivot from basic metallurgy to complex RF and optic systems in just 24 months. Manufacturing is decentralized across Halol, Kalol, but the crown jewel is their new 85,000 square feet facility, AUV facility in Chennai. This place has a massive 150,000 liter testing tank for hardware in the loop simulation, giving them the quick access to sea for trails needed for advanced underwater platforms. Q3 fiscal year 2026 is a financial blowout. All right. So, Krishna Defense Q3 fiscal year 2026 earnings are a masterclass in operating leverage. Look at those margins. EBITDA grew 139.3% while revenue grew 23.4%. That means their newer, higher tech products are incredibly profitable. Let's look at the broader fundamental picture. Earnings 9 months EPS grew a massive 69.8% year on year to 17.66 rupees. If we look at the trailing 12 months, taking the 9 months fiscal year 2026 PAT of 258.2 million plus the implied Q4 fiscal year 2025 PAT of 74.8 million, we get a TTM EPS of nearly 22.77 rupees. And using H1 fiscal year 2026 total assets of 1,903 million against an annualized revenue rate of 2,399.2 million, their asset turnover sits at a solid 1.26 times. Coming to its balance sheet, they are crushing inventory efficiency. Inventory is dropped from INR 724.2 million in fiscal year 2025 to 516.7 million in H1 fiscal year 2026, plus zero long-term debt as of H1 fiscal year 2026. But it's not all sunshine. The red flags. Employee benefit expenses over the 9 months period jumped 34.3%. This outpaced their 25% revenue growth. Yes, they are hiring high-end talent for AUVs and electronics. But if order execution delays happen, this will drag margins down. Trade receivables spiked to 325.9 million in H1 fiscal year 2026, up from INR 189.4 million in fiscal year 2025. This means it's taking longer to collect cash from the PSUs, and we need to watch this closely. So how are they sustaining this growth? Through smart equity-led integrations. Krishna Defense is holding technology. First, they acquired the transfer of technology for the CBOT AUV from CSIR NIO Goa. Then there is a Conceptia Software Technologies which helps them capture the indigenous shipbuilding TAM for vessels ranging from 1000 DWT all the way to 4 lakh DWT. Next up, Wave Optics Defense Solution. In this company, Krishna Defense holds 40% equity stake. Wave Optronics handles RF over fiber for signal remoting from 1.5 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. They build 10 channel phase match RFOF links for electronic warfare systems. And these systems are fully interoperable globally with Amphenol and TE connectors. Finally, their Netherlands joint venture, Wabo Composite, they are making fire-resistant composite doors and hatches. They have already set up an in-house pressure testing facility, ran successful trials, and are gearing up to export to Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. All of this gives Krishna Defense a robust closing order book of 1423.1 million compared to their 9 months revenue of 1799.4 million. That is a solid 9 to 12 months of revenue visibility. Krishna Defense is deeply anchored in B2G contracts. Their clients include top naval shipyards like Mazagon Dock, Cochin Shipyard, GRSC, and Goa Shipyard. On land, they supply the Indian Army, AVNL, and DRDO alongside private giants like L&T. Regulatory wise, they just secured an MOU under the PLI scheme 1.2 for specialty steel. But the biggest near-term catalyst, they are currently sitting at approval in progress for LRS, Lloyd's Register, and IRS, Indian Register of Shipping certifications. Getting these passports is mandatory to monetize those PLI benefits and grab commercial export orders. Looking ahead, MD Ankur Shah has his eyes on additive manufacturing, 3D printing for specialized weld consumables, aerospace hull components, and scaling up the Chennai AUV facility. So let's wrap this with a quick SWOT summary. Its strengths are highest ever EBITDA margins, PLI MOU for specialty steel, zero long-term debt. Coming to its weaknesses, spiking trade receivables and rising employee costs. Opportunities, the Chennai AUV, HIL tank, and massive export potential for Wabo composites. Coming to threats, delay in LRS or IRS certifications or policy shifts in Make in India procurement. Over the next 2 to 4 quarters, keep your eyes peeled for the commissioning of Wabo composite facility by fiscal year 2026, the operational status of that 1,50,000 liter Chennai tank, and whether they can maintain that sweet 20% plus EBITDA margins while qualifying specific revenues from Wave Optics and checking those related party transactions for arm's length pricing. So, Krishna Defense is transitioning from selling simple steel to bundling complete electronic marine systems, aiming for a much larger wallet share per vessel. But with rising receivables, execution is everything. So, what do you think about Krishna Defense transition to the main board? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to Murthy Finance Academy. Thank you.